everybody, welcome back. Just going to be doing a little bit more work on my quad bike today. I was out this afternoon and pulled the clutch on and the end came off the cable here. See, clutch cable now doing nothing and that is just sitting in there. The end came straight off it. So I'll show you how we can repair that cable. Could buy a new one. I'd have to go to town for that or order one online. Probably order one online. Let's see if I can fix it first. I've just knocked up this little end piece for the cable. The one I had went flying somewhere off and I don't know where it went. It's just a little bit of round bar with a hole in the middle of it. If you don't have a lathe, you can probably make something up. You just need a drill, really. This one's made out of brass, but you could make it out of steel. It's got a bigger hole on this side than it does on that side. And the idea being that we'll poke the cable through, flare it out a little bit and fill it up with solder, and that should stick the cable in there. I used to make cables like this many years ago and never had any problem. So let's have a go at that. I've just got the end of the cable here in the vise. What I'll do is I'll pop that over the cable. Looks like the hole on this end's a little big. Should be about the same size as the cable. It's a little bit big there. And we'll stick it in the vise down so it's about level there somewhere, like that. I don't want to make it any shorter or the cable won't fit the length anymore. It'll be too short. So that's about level with the top there. Now this stuff is tinning paste for soldering. There's all sorts of stuff you can get. Basically lead powder with acid, so you've got to be careful with it. You can use any soldering flux. The idea is we just need to make sure the solder sticks to the cable in a nice blob. So I'm just going to, there's a bit of solder on there already from the old one, so I'm just going to melt that off there and see if I can split the cable apart a bit. Before I did do it without it first. This is just an old scribe that I've had for a million years. It's got a nice big chamfer on the front. I'll try and use that to break open the old cable. Without burning myself. Might help if I put my glasses on. Oh, that's where we are. And the more we can flare these out, the better it's going to stick in there and not try to pull back out. That's got a bit of a spread down in there. Here's a nice close look. There's a nice close look at that. So I should be able to get the solder to flow in there and fill up that hole completely. That's just soft solder, same thing you use soldering electrical wires and stuff like that. Now let's just blob a bit of that tinning paste on there. That should help it all stick together. It's got some of the paste and the acid and whatnot in there. I'll just melt that. Trim it down a bit. Probably all running out underneath. Don't know whether you lost any of that because an alarm went off on my phone. Let's see how that goes. I'll just give that a bit of a clean up on the grinder. I might need to fill it in a little bit more on top. It hasn't flown out underneath too much that's going to catch on the inside of the handbrake. A bit of a blob there. I'll have to work on. Just got to be careful I don't bust any of the strands of the wire. Not particularly pretty, but I reckon that'll work. We'll just make sure it's not too big to go back in the hole of the brake. Take you over there and have a look. The way these go together, you can't see it's underneath. There's a round hole there and a slot. So that goes in there like that. You bring it around to the front. And luckily, these two bits have a slot in them as well. We'll just line those two slots up. So the cable goes in there. And then we screw that one in there, like that. Now I think I've got to screw this down almost as far as it will go to make the cable appear longer so I can get the other end on. So that just pulls out on the cable through there like that. To adjust it, you screw it out, and when you get it in the right place so the clutch takes up where you'd like, you just do that lock ring up. So I'll just feed this cable back through and I'll bring you around the other side so you can have a look. Well, here's the cable here. There's the end of it, and it's got to go in that little slot there. You can see there's a hole, or maybe you can, maybe you can't. There's a hole in the end, and the smaller diameter part of that little plug ends up in that hole, so it's captured and can't come out. Now me trying to film that is going to be a bit difficult, so I think I'll just move the camera out the way and bring you back when it's in. Alrighty, I managed to get it back on. I ended up having to put this end on first and then putting the handle end on. So I've got this nut here wound all the way out, so this cable's only just long enough now for it to work, and I can see I've still got a bit hard for you to tell, there's a bit of wiggle there. The cable's not tight, so shouldn't be like riding the clutch. Top end up here, there's still a bit of wiggle in that, so need a bit of free play, and comes on all right. So let's give it a test drive and see what happens. Turn the fuel on, turn the key on, turn the kill on, turn the choke on. That ought to do it. Now if I take off with a rush, we'll know the clutch isn't working. That's not too bad. I think we'll call that fixed, guys. Thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe as usual, and if you like these kind of videos, we'll see you on the next one. I can't really